welcome to this week's edition of the Riverhawk Spotlight. I'm your host, Jenna Horning, and joining me today is junior sprinter Alexa Rine on the women's track and field team here at Susquehanna. Thank you for joining me today, Alexa.
Hi, Jenna. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And as there's only one more meet between you and the Landmark Championships, how do you feel that you, as well as the rest of the team, have grown throughout the indoor season?
So I think, especially this year, one thing that we've mainly focused on throughout the season was putting the work in the weight room. I think this is something that we struggled with a little bit last year. So I think all of the effort we've put into the weight room and the chemistry that we've built in there has definitely helped prepare us for the championship next weekend.
And looking into, from all the work that you as well as the rest of the team have put into the weight room, moving into next week and championships, last week you ran a personal best time of 7.96 seconds in the 60-meter dash, as well as being a part of the 4x200 meter team, relay team that broke the school record. With your continued success on the track, how do you plan to continue this momentum going into landmarks and then eventually into the outdoor season?
I feel like the one thing I've been focusing on as a sprinter and as a member of the track and field program is having fun. I think the most important thing when playing a collegiate sport, you have to remember that, you know, it's going to be more difficult if you're not having fun. So one thing I've personally have focused on is, like, I had a meeting with our coaches, with the sprint coaches in particular, and we talked about trying to make workouts more fun for everyone. And I think that's definitely helped transform the atmosphere at practice. So I think that's one way that's helped prepare me and along with my teammates. So
I think that's definitely a great thing to remember when you're doing a collegiate sport, any sport in general, is just to make sure you're having fun with it, because you want to enjoy it at the end of the day. Yeah. But as a returning member of the track and field team, you have lined up for many races, whether those be relays or different sprinting events. What goes through your head before races?
Definitely nerves. So I feel like I'm very nervous before every meet. The most important thing I try to remember is that, like, I'm not really racing against the person next to me, I'm racing the clock. And I think that's the most important thing you have to remember. Like, you're not racing your teammates, you're not racing, you know, everyone in your conference, you're literally racing the clock, and that's the most important thing, for sure.
And focusing, like, on what you're doing, not what everybody else is doing. And kind of going off of that, a lot of athletes I've heard, like, when they run races, whether that be distance or sprinting, they kind of don't remember what happened during the race. Mm-hmm. Does that happen to you, or, like, what happens when you race?
Actually, it's like the complete opposite. I feel like mid-race, like, the world, like, stops, and I'm just, like, everything around me is, like, in pause mode, so I can kind of like if whether my parents or, like, my friends are at the meet, like, I can hear them specifically, like, screaming for me to go faster. So I think that's really cool, because you think, like, you just are, like, in this, like, mode where you're like, I can't see anything, but it's actually the opposite for me. Like, I see everything going on around me.
And that sounds really nice, like, with especially recently with the team being so supportive of everyone. Yeah. You hear all your teammates cheering you on. Mm-hmm. Since you are competing tomorrow at Bucknell, many athletes have a pre-meet ritual or tradition that they have to do before they compete, or even specific music that they listen to. What would you say is your pre-meet ritual, if you have one? So
tonight I will be making my strawberry shortcake overnight oats. I do this before every meet. It just, in my head, it makes me run faster. I don't know if it's true or not. So I'm going to wake up, eat my overnight oats, and then I'm going to jam out to some Taylor Swift. She sort of, like, calms me down. Like, I know a lot of other sprinters on the team like to listen to, like, rap or, like, pop to, like, pump them up to make them run faster. But for me, like, I need to calm my nerves down, so I have to listen to something, like, slower. So,
is there any song, like, in particular that you have to listen to, like, every time?
No, I wouldn't say, but I typically listen to Enchanted. I love that one. So, yeah.
And my last question for you is, looking into the future, what goals do you have for yourself on and off the track?
Personally, I think my goal is to get new PRs. That's, like, every meet. I wish that would happen, but obviously that's not very realistic. But for the team, I think that I just want the team to, like, be a family and keep building the chemistry that we do have together, because ultimately, like, that's how we're going to win championships. So that's my main goal, is to win more championships.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining me, Alexa, and I wish you the best of luck in landmarks.
Thank you.